That song is titled Crying on a Saturday Night, and that was written and performed by my special guest today, Stella Prince. Stella, welcome to the Friday Afternoon Music Mix.
Thank you so much for having me. It's such an honor.
Well, the honor is mine, actually. I received your first promotion single from Art, your radio promoter, and I was just bowled over by it. I enjoyed it a lot. I played it recently on my show. I said, I must talk to this young woman.
Oh, thank
So I
you.
was thrilled when you agreed to come on. Tell me a little bit about, I know you're from, well, first I should tell my audience, which I have done in the past, but I want to tell them again today that you're young, but you're also a very accomplished singer songwriter. I look at your resume and my jaw dropped. I mean, yeah, the Bluebird Cafe, which I've been to many times, Greenwich Village Folk Festival, Nashville Entertainment, and then even New York's The Bitter End. Woo, that's
Oh,
great. That's
thank you.
great.
Thank you.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit. I know you started young, and I want to hear it come from you. Tell me a little bit about your bio and your background.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I feel like music chose me. To be perfectly honest, I feel like I was pretty much just born with this feeling of just wanting nothing more than to be a musician, and to be a singer. So I think, from as early as I can remember, a baby, really, I just was obsessed with singing and obsessed with listening to music. And my parents had a huge CD collection, and I would just sit and listen to, musical theater CDs, Broadway, folk, pop, big band, like every kind of genre for hours and hours until I memorized the whole thing. So it was just really from a very early age that I knew what I wanted to do.
That's great. And I understand you started as early as like 4 or 5 years old with not only with singing and then piano, and then wrote your first songs at a very young age.
Yeah, yeah. I asked my parents for voice lessons at 4. It was something that I felt I was ready for, and
That's
I
great.
it's kind of crazy, but I called my grandfather up in preschool and said I'm ready for a manager. Did he know how to get me one? I was ready to go.
Oh, you're a
But
hoot.
yeah, it was kind of hilarious. But yeah, I started piano at 6, classically, actually. I was trained classically my whole childhood. And I went to a local conservatory pre college program starting when I was 7. And that was pretty incredible training, especially for my voice, just to have that technique aspect, really there. And I started guitar when I was 9 in school, but I couldn't stand it. Like, I hated it at first because my hands were so tiny and it just hurt like so much. It was like I got cramps in my hands all the time. And I put it on the shelf and I just stopped playing for a few years, and I didn't really pick it up until I was like 12 or 13. But then it really had clicked, and I love guitar. It's pretty much my main instrument.
Yeah, you're an accomplished guitar player as well as you have a beautiful voice.
Thank you.
This is not the kind of performance we expect to see from someone your age. This is wonderful. I mean, I can only imagine your parents must be incredibly proud of you.
Oh, well, thank you. That really means so much. Yeah, they're really, really excited. There's not really any other musicians in my family, so it's kind of totally a new thing for them. But my parents are both artists and super creative. My dad is a writer and my mom is a painter, so there was always so much creativity around me growing up. So I
And that
really,
that's
was so
wonderful.
inspired by them. Yeah.
Isn't that great? It's just terrific. I'd like to play a second song that you sent me.
Yeah.
Could we do that right now? Would that be good?
Oh, that would be great.
Okay. This one is titled Before You Leave.
Thought you and me were always meant to be, but timing's everything, don't you see? So just one more time, say you love me before you leave, before you leave, before you leave. shifting ground, searching for ourselves in the lost and found. Memories of what could almost be, casting shadows on our destiny. And you and me were always meant to be, but timing's everything, don't you see? So just one more time, say you love me before you leave, before you leave, before you leave. Echoing sounds of soft rain, distant empty passing trains point to paths that break apart, splintered moments of my heart. And you and me were always meant to be, but timing's everything, don't you see? So just one more time, say you love me before you leave, before you leave, before you leave.
I think of all the songs that you have sent me, Stella, that is my absolute favorite. That is
Um,
just a drop
thank-
dead gorgeous song.
oh my gosh. Well, thank you. I wrote it like at the very start of the pandemic. I just was thinking so much about all the people that were dying and just how hard it is to go through, loss and losing someone. So that was my first ever single that I released about a year ago, and it really is so special to me because it's the first song that anyone has ever heard from me. So it really holds such a special place in my heart.
That's wonderful. Are you back out on tour now?
Yeah, I've done so this past year. I'm actually from upstate New York. I'm from Woodstock, which is like the folk music capital of the world,
Oh, yes.
which has been an incredible, inspiration really to just grow up here and be surrounded by so many incredible legends. But I really was able to kind of book my own tour this year, just kind of all around New England and the surrounding areas. And it's been incredible practice. It's really the first time that I've been able to be booked as like a featured act. And, it's really my first time on tour. So it's been incredible.
That's wonderful. Just a curiosity, since you said Woodstock, have you played at Levon Helm's barn yet with Amy
Uh,
Helm?
I haven't. I haven't. I've always wanted to, but yeah, I haven't yet.
She's a wonderful singer. Maybe you and her can get together sometime. That would
Oh, I
be
love it.
that'd be wonderful. Yeah, I
Yeah,
would too.
it's
I'd love to
great.
hear your voices together. Actually, I
Mhm.
think you would really hit it off. I really
Oh yeah,
do.
it's wonderful.
So I know also that you at 17 have already completed 2 years of college. What are you going to go to a conservatory or like Berkeley School of Music or something like that when you reach that point?
Yeah, I'm actually not, and I think college is incredible, for so many people, and I think it could have been for me, but I think for where I am right now, everything is moving so fast. And I have so many contacts and so many connections, and I've been trying to go to Nashville as often as I can. So I feel like I just want to focus on this path and this journey right now, and really just focus on my career. So
That's
that's what
great.
I'm going to do.
That's
Yeah.
great. And from what I've heard, it's I can understand that. And the response that you're getting, I
Yeah.
mean, you're already a member of ASCAP, NSAI, and the Global Songwriters Connection, and you're commuting back and forth between Nashville and New York
Yeah.
regularly.
Yeah, exactly.
Good.
Yeah, I feel like it definitely feels right for me. It
That's
really
terrific, Stella.
feels
That's
good.
just
Yeah.
terrific. And the best part about it is that, as you say, your folks are artists and they're incredibly supportive of what you're
Yeah.
doing. Yeah,
And that I feel like that's so important to have a supportive family. And I'm an only child. My
I was going to
parents,
ask you that.
yep. And my parents really recognized my love for music when I was really only 2, 3, 4. and they were so thrilled for me, to have something that I love, and they were so supportive. So that really is so important, and I owe so much of this early success to my parents' support. Absolutely.
Such wonderful support and such wonderful love. I wanted to ask you, are you working on an album?
I am working on writing all the songs for my first album for sure.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I have about like 12 to 15 songs that I'm really, really excited about that no one's ever heard.
Oh,
But
terrific.
I definitely feel like I want to wait for the right time to
Okay.
release my first album. And that may mean, having a record deal for that in the next 2 years or not, but really just waiting for that perfect time.
Sounds to
Yeah.
me like you're also an astute business person as well. I like that. And that, unfortunately, that is the case many times that
Mhm.
wonderful artists are terrible business people. And I
Yes.
see it all the time. I just shake my head and I go, well, I don't know where they'll end up, but
Yep.
the combination that you've recognized will take you far. No doubt
Oh, well,
about it.
thank you.
And I hope that you will think about me on your neck when you do put that album out. I'd
Oh,
love to have it
yeah.
so I could play it for the folks on KSVR and
Oh, I'd love
KSVU.
to.
That'd be
Absolutely.
terrific.
Yeah.
Thank you, Stella. I really appreciate you joining me here today. I wish you all the best. I hope that maybe if you even come up and you tour later on in the Pacific Northwest, you'll come by the studio and we could have you on live, which would be a lot
Oh
of
my
fun.
gosh. I would absolutely love that. Yeah, I will definitely. I'd love to keep in touch with both of you, and I really, really enjoyed meeting you.
Thank you, Stella. You're very, very kind. I will take us out of this wonderful interview with the third song that you chose, and it's called The Rain Will Fall. Thanks again, Stella.
Thank you so much, Greg.